is leading. Leading is one of the important chapter information for any engineer manager. Mainly agenda for presentation today is talking about leading, and leading include deciding, communication, motivation, selection, and developing. All engineer managers have to do these 5 important keys when they're leading their subordinates. Deciding mainly talks about rational decision making, group decision making. Got instant communication talks about asking. You have to ask questions. You have to tell others. You have to listen, and you have to understand. Motivating, which is a very key important task for any engineer manager, involves inspiring, and I'm hoping this is what I'm trying to do from beginning of semester, to motivate you, part of me as manager, leader of this class, instructor of the classes, to motivate you to fulfill your potential. So motivating is a very important factor for any managers. Then another task that managers does is selection of others, selection of subordinates, selection of workers. You have to focus on hard and soft skills and other method to select others. Then you have to, last thing the manager does, develop performance correction, personal growth. It's like part of my job is this first assignment. I said, okay, this is how you can improve your assignment, but you're doing this group assignment for next week. So managers continuously have to develop people that are working for him or for her. Now there are special topics on leading in our lecture today, talking about lead changes, new leader strategy, superior leadership. Now, this is an important and nice slide. There are 5 different leadership styles. One is, I call it nice guy. One is, I wouldn't use the word loser, but I would probably use more term as picky leader, compromiser, taskmaster, and ideal managers. Nice guy, if you look, see, this is the curve, task versus people. Nice guy is what? Those guys that, usually you always give them good evaluation, is the guy that doesn't care too much about tasks. Won't maybe ask you, and I'm giving you an example from perspective of faculty. Some managers, they want to be socially acceptable. They like to be liked by people that are working same in faculty. They like to be liked by students. So they're high on people skills, but not so much on task. They won't ask. They won't focus on task, and that's not a good one, because then the company or the class, you won't gain any knowledge if the leader just cares about you liking them. Then the opposite of that is, as I said, I wouldn't use the word loser. I would probably use other term for that, but it's a type leadership style that focuses on task. Those I would call it maybe authoritative leadership style, because it asks you, get it done, whatever or not. They don't care if you like them or not. Then something in the middle is compromiser. That is kind of some social skill and some focus on task. Then is a taskmaster, that all he cares about is task to be done, and doesn't care much about social aspect of his leadership or her leadership style. But the ideal manager, that's why I see socially, and I'm hoping, like in this class, I'm hoping that I instill that in you, that makes you work hard, but yet you like me or you like your theirs because you understand and you believe in their leadership, that they're doing it for your own good. So that's an ideal manager, and I'm hoping each one of you, when you go to management position, to have this type of leadership, that you're socially acceptable with people that are working with you. Also, you care about the task to be done. So these are basically leadership styles. As I said, there are many different styles, and not single style would fit all situations. So you have to adapt. I've been in leadership position for many years, and one thing I've learned that every scenario is different. Like every class is different. I have to approach every class different. Undergraduate class different than the graduate class, and also when you work at a company, the same thing. You've got to look and adapt your leadership style based on what what is out there in the company. So it's like advice to engineering manager, various style flexible according to situation at hand and in order to be effective. So you always have to look and see how you can manage, how you can change your leadership style. Okay, this is our first question for discussion. Yes.
Yeah, I need to go back to your slide, please. With a different leadership style can be effective with the different people. It means the hard, those people who they are having a hard time to follow up.
See, good, and it takes, as I said, the topic of leadership, honestly, have to be talked about in a few classes because it's such a broad base, but remember in 401 class, we just basically talk on surface of topics. This mainly talks about that different people, or some people like to be, same thing with the students, some students like to have a structure. You need to know every week what is expected out of you. Some people are more open. It's okay, you leave it up to them and they can initiate. And same thing at work. There are people at work that, for manager, they need to a spoonful. They need to be exactly told, they need to have maybe a memo sent to them or other means so they know. But some others, you tell them, this is what I'm expecting, they do the work. So you have to, leaders always have to adapt and find what is effective.
There comes the psychological things into
part of it, as I said, always managers have to understand and have to read mind. It's a very difficult task for a lot of managers. It's not easy to be a manager, so you have to always adjust and adapt your managerial skill and style. Hopefully I asked you before the class to look at the question on the lecture so we could discuss this. This is mainly talking about a situation, realistic situation, the president of the company is under pressure from the customer to deliver a product. Then president put the pressure on director of production asking, okay, I want this product, deliver it or else. Then director have to decide to ship the product even though the procedures are not completely done and product might not be ready. So director goes, and you see the level of leadership starts from the top and goes down. Then it goes to the product, goes to the products engineers and asks them, okay, we need this product because the president have asked to deliver. Now, my question to you is, if you were a director of production, what is an effective way? What would you do in this situation? The president came to you and asked you, okay, I need this product, but we have a time frame. What would you do? What would you do under this situation? Because the one thing of leadership is always we are under pressure. Like here, I get pressure from Dr. Ray and says, okay, you need to have this. Then I'll come back and put that pressure on you. I'm expecting, same thing, with companies. So
it's better communication with the employees who are working under you or your peers, and then the process which you are using in the whole process of manufacturing or whatever product you are making, it should be very streamlined. It should be streamlined by you, so that whatever deadlines are given to you, you can change your process accordingly and get the work done.
So in this particular situation, if you were director of production, what would you do? Would you do what this guy is doing, to put pressure on product engineer and say, okay, what would you do?
I think as a director of production, I'll first try to persuade the customer by telling him or her the effects, the diverse effects that could have on his further processing or production, and that way try to persuade the CEO or whoever is insisting on delivering the product by effective leadership styles or by effective communication, so that we get out of this situation properly and deal with it properly.
Anybody else?
I will do that. What I do is I ship whatever right now is ready. Then I put it, I set up the supervisor to go ahead to boost up more productivity, increase productivity. The end of the whatever is left and we ship it and we talk to the customer. We make the customer realize that we had some difficulties. So we do not want to send all the shipment in order to be able to have a more defect